make sure you name it. So just click on it, cabin, and then your full name. Okay, then save it. Insert the image. So we'll go to Explorer. So what you want to do is insert the image here. You will download it and go to where you have the image, and then just drag the image in here in the Explorer. And then you'll see it there. Now, next you'll go to insert a plane. So you go plane, and then you want to rotate it. So you need to, under properties, you need to open transform. And in this case, let me see, I believe it's X. Yeah. So X, you'll switch it to 90. And then you can just scale the plane. And it's up to you how big you want that to look like. And then just make sure it's on top of the grid. Once you have that, then we need to come back here under Explorer, right click on Material, Library, and go New and select Standard. And for this, we need to apply the cabin. So right here under Diffuse, you're going to select Cabin Design. So just so we can apply the image of the cabin to the color. So once we have that, we click on the plane, go back to Properties, and under Material, you select. Now I left it as standard. You might want to rename this as cabin image, just to make it, so we can have names and it's easier to recognize what you're doing, what colors you're using. So cabin image. So you select that under Material, and there is the cabin. Okay, and this is just so you can reference as you are creating your cabin. So you can use it as a reference. And I'll use the move tool to move it back a little bit. Okay. Next, you're going to use the cube to create a rectangle. So I'll use the scale to resize it. And it's up to you how big you want the cabin to be. I'm using the image in the plane as a reference, so that's about a good size. Now the only problem here is that I can't see through the cube, so you want to make a couple changes there so we can actually see through it. So again, make sure you're on the Explorer tab, and on Media you're going to right click New, and again select Standard, and I'm going to change the name to Opacity. And then you're going to come down here where it says Opacity. So let's say I'll change this to 0.8. You could just type it 0.8. And then you're going to apply it to our current rectangle. So I'm going to select it, go to Properties. And for Materials, I'm going to select Opacity. And then you can see through it now. See that? Okay. You're able to see through it. If you need to see, if it's not enough, you can always go back to the opacity and then just keep changing it more until you're satisfied with the opacity so you can see through it. Okay, so once we have that, we go to Properties and we go to Polymesh, and then we start adding our segments. So for example, if we look at the image, let me see if I can. So if we look at the image, then we can see, for example, how many lines are we going to need, right? So for example, this stats here or post, that will take care of, like, you will need 2 lines for those, and for the windows you'll need 2 lines. So there's 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and let's say 5, 6 for the door, 7. But again, the post or the the stats, you can do them individually after. Just add rectangles and place them against the walls. So for this, let's say we do. So this is the top. Again, for the side window, we're gonna need 1, 2, 3, so 4. So maybe about 6 or 7. So you go, and it doesn't matter if you go over. If you don't need them, that's fine. And then here on the width, again, I counted about 9. So I'll just go, I mean, I could just go 10 or even 11. But if you need more, then you can do so. It won't matter if you use more. And then right here, the cabin has like a base. So there's 2 lines right there. And then for the roof, there will be another 2. So the height will go 1, 2. So this will go down, this will go up. And I'll just add a couple more just because of the window. So we can actually have a little square. So we can create the window. So 4, I'll go 6. It doesn't matter if you go 1 over extra or more. So there, I have that. Now I'm going to create the base and the part for the roof. What you want to do is switch to tools, select the object and then edge, and make sure you have the move tool selected. And I'm just going to double click so I can select all the way around, and I can just bring it up. So this will be, so I can extrude the roof. And then the one on the bottom, same thing, I'll just double click and then just bring it down, and that will be the base for the floor, this part right here. Okay, once I have that, then I can start moving things around. So for example, see how right here, the main door, there is like a little porch or patio in the front of the cabin. So we need to extrude that in. So let's see, what we're going to do is going to select the faces. So let me see, we need, these 2 will be for the windows. I'll just start from here. So I'll select face. So I'll just start from here. Then maybe you want to use the selections tool instead. Sometimes the arrows of the move tool get in the way, and then you just start selecting. And then you want to do extrude, and then grab the move tool, and then you just push it in as far as you need to. So that should be fine there. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these faces. I don't need them. See? So let me see. Make sure you align. See? That way you can perfectly delete those edges. So I'm aligning this wall with this line right here. So now I can just go and select the faces. There. Make sure you're not selecting part of the roof or the base, and then just press delete. And if you still see, like in this case I still see it, so make sure you go back and select those faces and delete them. I can still see there's one more here, and then just delete, and there. Okay, so now I'll work on the roof. So I'll select, switch to the selection tool. again, make sure nothing else it's selected, just what you need, and then that's it. You can just click extrude, and then we can use the scale, and then just extrude out a little bit. There. And now the top faces. Switch to selection tool. And then just go around, make sure nothing else is selected, say like here in this case. Okay, once you have the perfect selection, then you can extrude. And I'll use the move tool to extrude up a little bit more. And then once I have that, I can use the scale to make it actually look like a roof. Like so. And then once I have that, I can switch to vertex, and then just select all the vertices on the top. And with the scale, I can push it in. Okay, and that's giving it that shape right there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the windows. So I'm going to start with that one here. So I'm going to move these vertices in a little bit. So I'll select vertex and just select this ones, 1, 2, and 3. Then move them right here, just so that I can give room for an actual window. So that should be fine, that size right there. Now I'll select face, select those two faces, I'll rotate a little bit so I can see better. I'll select extrude, push it in a little bit, and there is my window. Now I'll create the door. So I'll just use this, in my case, these 6 faces, and again I'll extrude as well. If it goes out too much, push it in a little bit. There it is, there's my door. Okay, now I'll create the side window. I'll just use these two, but I'll move the vertices a little bit just to give it more room for the window. Switch to face, I'll select the 2 faces and rotate so I can see, push extrude, and then move that face in. Just 2 faces in a little bit more, and there's my window. Okay. Next, I'm going to create the porch in front of the cabin. As you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 posts going down, or stats going down. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a box or a cube. I'll bring it up. I'll switch to front view just to see the height. So I'll put it somewhere here. Go back to perspective. We'll do it here. And then I'm just going to resize the cube so I can start extruding. I'll use the extrude tool instead because it will be easier to manipulate. So again, so in the front we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to extrude 5 times. So I'll select face, select the face here on the side, and then I'll extrude. So here's my first one going down. So I'm going to extrude again. Here's my second one going down. I'm going to extrude again. Extrude one more time. That's my third. Extrude. My fourth. Going down. And I'm going to extrude again. And this is my fifth one going down. So there. Now I'm going to do the ones on the side. So let me take a look here. So we have 1, 2, 3 going on the side. So I'll select the side. And make sure I have them correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this one it's too thick, or the width. So I'll change that a little bit. Let me select that line tool. I'll double click here, and then I'll just move it over. That should be fine. Now I'm going to start and do the side. So I'll select the face here, and there's 3 of them. So I'll start extruding. I'll extrude one more time. So that's one going down. Extrude one more time. Extrude one more time. So that's 2. And I need to move my object a little bit away from it. There. So I need my third one, so I'll select face again, extrude. And extrude one last time. Okay, so I'm done with this part. Now I'm going to do the ones that are going down. So I'll select the faces at the bottom. I can select them all, so I can do them all at once. And again, extrude, and then just pull down. As you can see in the image, there is a second level to the little porch. So I'm going to create it at this moment. So pretty much it's just selecting this face and this face and extruding it up. I'll extrude it up a little bit, like so, and then extrude one more time so I can actually connect those 2 points. Once I have that, then I'll click this face and select this face. Remember, you make sure you hold Control key. And then what you want to do is just bridge them. And again, it will look twisted. So go here where it says twist and make it -1, and that will make it straight. And then we need on this side, so I'm going to click there and use extrude in this case. Okay, there it is. And it looks like it has just a little bit here on this one. We need to extrude it a little bit more up. So do that and extrude it up a little bit, and maybe with the scale tool, I just make like a design. Like so, and then this side as well. There, like that.
just to give it a little design. Okay. Next, if we look at the image, there is actually one on the other side, and that one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So same thing. I mean, it looks like it's like this one, like this front side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this one or clone it. So I'm going to right click on clone, make sure copy is selected, and then click OK. And then I'm just going to remove what I don't need. So I don't need all of this here, this side. So I'll switch back to face. Make sure nothing else is selected. This is not selected, so I'm going to select that. And then just delete those faces. Now these ones now have a hole in them. So I'm going to select edge. I'm going to select these 3 edges and then click on fill borders. I'll do the same thing here. And again, I'm using the selection tool, so make sure you use that selection tool as well. It's easier to select. So I'm just going to select these 3 and then fill borders, and that will seal and create the other face. So that's my other side. So now I can just, using the move tool, move it back. And it goes on this side. So I might have to just use the scale to scale it down a little bit. There. And then just reposition it. So there it is. So I have my front porch. Now I need this piece right here on the top. So I'm going to create another box or cube and then bring it all the way on the top. You press F to zoom in on it. The thickness, the size looks pretty good. So I'm just going to scale. And let's see, that looks good. Let me push it down a little bit. And it might have to just scale it one more time. So just resize it as much as you need to, or as much as you can. All right, so there it is. Now for these ones here, going all the way around on the top, I'll let you guys work on that. And these ones too on the side. So now it's time to color. So I'm going to start coloring it. Now for these ones that are here on the roof, I'll let you guys work on that. I'll let you do it. I'm not gonna insert them. Those are easy. Just create one and then just clone it, and then that one's going down against the wall as well. I'll let you guys work on that. Now I just need this piece right here. So again, I'm going to use my box tool, and using the move tool, I'll bring it up here. And let's see, so we need a bigger size. And we press F to zoom in to the cube. I'll resize it. Using the move tool, I'll put it there. And let's see, it looks like I need more, extrude it more. So that should be fine about there. I just need to move it back a little bit. Then what we need to do is make it look like a triangle. So I'm going to select vertex and make sure you're selecting only the top 4. And then using the scale tool, I'll just squish them together like so. And then I'll select face to select both faces, the one in the front and the one in the back. And then I'll extrude. So instead of grabbing the circle, I'm just going to go here, push it in maybe there, like so. So it should be the same on both sides. Okay. I'll select just this face and then move it out with the move tool. This is acting different. Okay. And then let's see. It seems like we need one more time, so I'll select that and select the other face. Make sure you hold Control key as you're selecting, and then extrude one more time. So I'll go extrude, and then with the scale tool, I'll do the same thing, like that, and then like that. So that should be fine. Let's see. That should be fine. Now I'm going to start coloring. So first thing, I need to remove the opacity on the main cabin. So under properties, under materials, I'll just click on the X to remove the opacity. Now I have a full solid color. I'll go into, now I'm going to select the parts of the cabin to give it material ID. So for example, the porch, I'll select the face here and then make sure this one, I'll set it to 1 and then set ID. And then I'll select the other part of the porch. Select face, and then I'll use ID 1 as well for that. Then set ID, there it is. Now I'm going to select a roof. For that, I'm going to select front view. I'll select the top beam and select face, and I'll set that to ID 2. Okay, now I'm going to select the roof. So make sure you're only selecting the roof, no other faces are being selected. I'm going to go into perspective view and make sure nothing else got selected. Nope, it's just a roof, just a roof. All right, so I'll change that to material ID. Since it would be the same color as this one, I'll just leave it as ID 2. So I'll set ID. And now for the windows, and the windows in the door, I'll make them transparent just so we can see through. So I'll select, that's the window. And the door is this 6 faces here. And then the other window will be this 2. All right, so 3 will be the windows. So I'll go set ID. Okay, now I'll go back to Explorer and create a new multi-ID, name that cabin. Select a color for that cabin. I use like a beige color. You can use whatever color you want. So now for For the windows, we say it was 3, so I'll switch that to opacity so we can see through them, and the door as well. We need for the porch part of it right here. So I'll create another standard color and I'll name that porch. And then I'll pick a color for that. So I'll go for like a brownish color. Okay. And then let's see, go back to cabin. And then, so porch was 1, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll make that porch for ID 1. And then ID 2 was the roof. Okay, so for that, I'm going to use a picture. So I already have downloaded one. I'll make it, it's for the roof. So I'll drag that into the Explorer section. And there is roof. So now I'm going to create a new standard material, name it roof. And then under diffuse is for image, I'll select roof. Okay, I'll go back to cabin. And for ID 2, I'll select roof. All right, so now if we click on the cabin and we go under properties, so here we'll select, and for the material reference, we'll select cabin. And there it is. And then you can see that windows are transparent. You can see through. Now for the porch, I have to select that and also select, for example, cabin. For the porch, since it's independent from the cabin, you could just create another color. That's why it's not coloring brown like I did before, like I assigned before. So I'm going to undo and then just go back to Explorer and create a new color just for the porch. So I'll go standard. I'll name it front porch. And then like I said, I'll give it like a brownish color. Yeah. So now I can go back, select them in their properties, just go front porch, same thing on this one, front porch, and there it is. Here it is, your cabin all colored. Now I'm going to color this part right here. For that, I will use front porch, the same color as the porch. Now for this piece right here on the roof, that's an individual piece, so I need to create different IDs for it. So let's get started by selecting face. Select that face, this face. Let's see. So those two only. The one on the bottom doesn't show, so it doesn't matter on that one. So I'll make that ID 1, set ID. Then for this one's in the middle, which will be transparent, I'll select them, and those will be ID 2. And then this ones will be white. I'll make those ID 3. Set ID, and then this one, I'll make those brown, so that will be ID 4. So 4 and set ID. Okay, now I'm going to color it. So I will go to Explorer. I'm going to create a new multi-ID. I'm going to name that roof triangle. Okay, so we said ID1 was the roof part, this part right here. And then ID2 would be the windows, which will be opacity, so we can have it transparent. And then for the next piece would be just color white. So I need a new material. So right click on material library, new, standard. I'll name that white and select a white color for it. I can go back to roof triangle. So we said ID3 will be white, and then ID4 will be brown. So I'll just use the same color as the porch. So that would be front porch. Okay. Now let's apply it. So I'm going to select the roof triangle and select roof triangle here. Okay, so now we need to fix the roof because I added a texture to the roof, but it's not showing. It's just showing a solid brown color. So I'll go back to tools, select the cabin, and then you're going to click UV map, and then there it is. See how you can see that? If you're happy with the way it looks, then you leave it like that. But as you rotate, see how this is, it's not facing the right direction. So you might want to work here. So here you can play around with the utile. Or VTile. Until you get it to however you want it. Or you can just scroll down here and select best fit. And if you rotate, you can see that it's kind of working. We just gotta rotate it a little bit. So we'll scroll down to rotation, and under X, we'll keep rotating it until we get it the right direction. There, and that looks good. Okay, there it is. We can do that same thing for the roof triangle. So we select it, and then you go UV map, and there it is. You can scroll down to best fit. Then again, if you need to add more utile or VTile, you can just go here and experiment with it. There, that looks better. And there is the comment, all complete.